I don't have to listen to that. Yes you do. Let's dive into the crazy world of Hollywood where actors can go from mega famous to totally MIA in the blink of an eye. Seriously, one year they're the hottest thing, and the next year, poof, gone. Character, I guess, is the bad guy in the show, although I always try to make them good. You never know, the next big sensation might be someone you've never even heard of yet. It's all about awards, gossip, paparazzi, drama, talent, and, of course, scandal. Join us as we uncover the top banned actors by Hollywood you will never see again. 19. Elizabeth Berkley. First on today's list is Elizabeth Berkley, known primarily for her role as Jessie Spano on the popular TV series Saved by the Bell. Her transition to the big screen, however, marked a pivotal turn in her career, and not in a good way, largely due to her controversial role in the 1995 film Showgirls. Showgirls was an NC-17 rated film that featured Elizabeth in a performance far removed from her wholesome TV persona, involving full frontal nudity and intense dance sequences. The film was critically panned and became infamous for its overt sexual content and perceived poor quality, earning a mere $37 million against its $40 million budget. The backlash was immediate and severe, with Elizabeth bearing the brunt of the criticism. Critics savaged her performance, and her sudden shift from teen icon to a risque film star shocked audiences and industry insiders alike. This stark departure led to her being unofficially blacklisted in Hollywood as casting directors and producers became hesitant to associate with her following the film's negative reception. Despite the harsh critiques, Elizabeth was not solely to blame for the film's failings. Director Paul Verhoeven later admitted that if there was any fault, it lay with him and screenwriter Joe Eszterhas, not Elizabeth, who performed exactly as directed. You've got to respect him for owning up to his mistakes, right? 20. Roseanne Barr. While some actors may not be entirely responsible for how Hollywood treated them, others played an active part. That's the story of Roseanne Barr, a once beloved figure in American television who faced a stark fall from grace, leading to her banishment from Hollywood because of controversial remarks she made. This dramatic turn of events was precipitated by a tweet she posted in May 2018, which contained racist remarks about Valerie Jarrett, a former advisor to President Obama. Roseanne's tweet sparked immediate outrage and led to the cancellation of her revived sitcom Roseanne by ABC. Initially, Roseanne attributed her actions to the side effects of the sedative Ambien, claiming it led her to engage in weird stuff, but it wasn't very successful among the public. The controversy took a further twist when Roseanne's co-star, Sarah Gilbert, who played Darlene on the show, publicly condemned the tweet as abhorrent. Sarah's response was pivotal, according to Roseanne, who believes that this condemnation was the catalyst for ABC's decision to axe the show. In a subsequent interview, Roseanne expressed her devastation, stating that Sarah's tweet had destroyed the show and her life. In the aftermath, Sarah Gilbert expressed sorrow over the show's dissolution but maintained a distance, emphasizing that while Roseanne would always be considered family, her actions were deeply disappointing. This incident highlighted the broader implications of Roseanne's online behavior, which her family and network had worried about prior to the scandal, even leading to her son attempting to limit her Twitter access. Despite these efforts, Roseanne's continued provocative posts ultimately led to her ostracization from Hollywood. Do you think it was fair that she was banned by Hollywood? 21. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf, once a prominent figure in Hollywood, found himself sidelined after a series of controversies that damaged his public image and professional standing. His journey of controversy began with a highly publicized 2017 traffic stop where Shia made racially charged comments to a black police officer, claiming the officer was targeting him because of his race and making inappropriate remarks about his wife. This incident led to significant backlash, resulting in a public apology from Shia, a year of probation, and mandatory anger management therapy. Despite these efforts and a brief resurgence in his career with successful projects like Honey Boy and the Peanut Butter Falcon, Shia's past continued to haunt him. The situation escalated when his former partner, musician FKA Twigs, filed a lawsuit against him for sexual assault and infliction of emotional distress. This lawsuit brought to light serious allegations that contributed to a full blacklist from Hollywood, halting any potential opportunities, including rumored considerations for a major role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. 22. James Franco. Next on the list is James Franco, a former Hollywood heartthrob whose career trajectory took a sharp downturn following a series of sexual misconduct allegations. Despite his earlier acclaim, including an Emmy nomination for portraying James Dean and an Oscar nod, Franco's reputation. For 127 hours, James's personal controversies overshadowed his professional successes. The beginning of his fall from grace can be traced back to 2014 when James's interaction with a 17-year-old girl became public. After a Broadway performance of Mice and Men, he took a selfie with the girl and later contacted her via Instagram, offering to rent a hotel room. The incident, which James admitted to during an interview with Howard Stern, sparked significant backlash, though he defended his actions by stating he was simply interacting with a fan who came to see him. The situation escalated after his Golden Globe win in 2018 for The Disaster Artist. Following the ceremony, actress Ali Sheedy tweeted cryptic messages suggesting she wasn't happy with James, which many interpreted as a direct result of his alleged behavior. Though Ali did not elaborate, the implication was enough to renew scrutiny of James's actions. These incidents, combined with his frequent controversial choices and public missteps, led to a distancing by former colleagues, including Seth Rogen, who publicly stated he has no plans to work with James. Consequently, James's casting opportunities in Hollywood have dwindled, effectively sidelining his career in the mainstream film industry. Do you think he will ever make a comeback? 15. Lea Michele. Have you ever wondered why Lea Michele, once a beloved star of the hit TV series Glee, has faced significant backlash and diminishing career opportunities? Lee's fall from grace is not due to her talent, which shone through her role as Rachel Berry, but rather her off-screen behavior, which has been widely criticized by former co-stars and the public alike. This essentially got her banned by Hollywood. Allegations against Lee surfaced with force during the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement, particularly following her supportive post after the death of George Floyd. This prompted a response from Samantha Ware, a former Glee co-star, who accused Lee of making her experience on the show a living hell. Samantha's accusations included serious claims of traumatic microaggressions, such as Lee allegedly threatening to defecate in her wig. These allegations opened the floodgates, with more former cast members coming forward with similar stories of Lee's problematic behavior, including claims of racism and general unpleasantness on set. The impact of these accusations was swift and severe. Lee's partnership with HelloFresh was terminated as the company stated it does not condone racism or discrimination of any kind. The fallout, both in public and within the industry, showed that there's a growing trend where Hollywood doesn't tolerate actors who cause controversy or harm, regardless of how talented they are on screen. 16. Randy Quaid. Although Randy Quaid was once a celebrated actor known for his roles in both comedy and drama, his career took a tumultuous turn due to a series of legal and behavioral issues. Randy's troubles began in 2006 when he sued the producers of Brokeback Mountain, claiming he was misled about the film's financial prospects to secure his performance at a reduced rate. This lawsuit marked the beginning of a downward spiral. By 2009, Randy and his wife were arrested for defrauding an innkeeper in Santa Barbara using an invalid credit card to settle a $10,000 bill. Although Randy was eventually cleared of these charges due to lack of evidence, his wife was convicted of fraud. The couple's legal woes continued when they were charged with burglary in 2010 after illegally occupying a property they previously owned, claiming it was fraudulently taken from them. The situation escalated as Randy moved to Canada seeking asylum, fearing for their lives in the US and claiming they were targeted by Hollywood star whackers. However, Randy's application for permanent residency in Canada was denied in 2013, leading to further legal battles and his eventual deportation back to the United States. Randy's career faced a significant blow when he was banned for life by the Actors Equity Association following accusations from the entire cast of the musical Lone Star Love. They alleged that Randy physically and verbally mistreated his fellow performers, contributing to the show's cancellation before its Broadway debut. At this point, it seems unlikely that the 73-year-old will ever make his way back onto our screens, small or big. 17. Jim Carrey. The story of Jim Caviezel's career is a poignant example of how a single role can dramatically alter an actor's trajectory in Hollywood. Back in the early 2000s, Jim Caviezel was the ultimate heartthrob in Hollywood. He was killing it in movies like The Thin Red Line and The Count of Monte Cristo, and it seemed like he was set for life in the business. But then he took on the huge role of Jesus in Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ, and since then, you hardly ever see him on the big screen. Hollywood's been kind of ghosting him ever since. The film, which depicted the last days of Jesus, was both a box office success and a source of controversy due to its graphic content and alleged anti-Semitic undertones. Mel Gibson, the director, had warned Jim even before filming began that accepting the role could lead to him being shunned by the film industry and even banned by Hollywood. This warning proved true, as Jim found it increasingly difficult to secure roles after the movie. In various discussions, including one held at the First Baptist Church of Orlando, Jim recounted an instance where Mel told him that he would never find work in that town again. Embracing what he considered a cross of his own, Jim chose to proceed with the role despite the potential consequences, and it seems he is now paying the price. He still manages to get a few roles now and then, such as Sound of Freedom, but he's never found the same level of fame, which is just as well since he expressed little interest in Hollywood's accolades or fame. 12. Mira Sorvino. Sometimes actors are banned by Hollywood for all the wrong reasons. Mira Sorvino, an acclaimed actress once at the pinnacle of Hollywood success, found her career abruptly stunted following a distressing encounter with Harvey Weinstein in the mid-1990s. While working on Mighty Aphrodite, Mira resisted Harvey's unwanted advances, a decision that had serious consequences for her career trajectory. She recounted harrowing experiences where Harvey allegedly harassed her, including a disturbing incident at her apartment where he showed up uninvited late at night. Mira's refusal to cave into Harvey's demands appeared to trigger a hidden campaign against her. Director Peter Jackson later disclosed that during casting for The Lord of the Rings, Mira Max, at Harvey's behest, advised against hiring Mira, labeling her as difficult to work with. This smear tactic was part of a broader scheme by Harvey to blacklist Mira, hindering her chances to participate in major film projects during a critical phase of her career. The truth of these allegations remained obscured until the rise of the Me Too movement, which prompted Mira to speak publicly about her experiences. This disclosure not only corroborated her struggles but also highlighted the systematic mistreatment prevalent in the entertainment industry. Now that the business has opened its eyes, the sort of unfair treatment Mira got might become a thing of the past. What do you think? 13. Dane Cook. Dane Cook, who burst onto the comedy scene in the mid-2000s, quickly gained fame with his raunchy humor and energetic performances. However, by the end of the decade, his career trajectory had taken a sharp downturn due to a combination of poorly received films and controversies. It's safe to say that Dane Cook was essentially banned by Hollywood. Let's see why. The beginning of the end for Dane's mainstream appeal started with the critical and box office flop Employee of the Month in 2006, followed by another disaster, Good Luck Chuck, in 2007. These films not only failed to impress audiences but also garnered Razzie nominations, severely damaging Dane's reputation in Hollywood. His comedic style, once a formula for success, began to be critically panned, with accusations that it lacked substance. Adding to his troubles, Dane faced allegations of joke theft, a serious accusation in the comedy community. Joe Rogan and Louis C.K. hinted or directly accused him of stealing material, which alienated him further from his peers. This controversy was highlighted in an episode of Louis, where Dane and Louis confronted the issue head-on. Dane's attempts to shift to dramatic roles were met with indifference, and his foray into superhero and CGI-heavy projects either went unnoticed or were critically panned, such as the abysmally performing 400 Days. His efforts to revive his career on television, like the unaired NBC sitcom Next Caller, also fell flat due to creative differences. It seems Dane has run out of creative juice. 14. Monique. Monique, once a rising star after her Academy Award win for her role in Precious, found herself sidelined and practically banned by the Hollywood machine following her outspoken nature and refusal to conform to industry expectations. 15. After her Oscar victory, instead of experiencing the anticipated boost in her career, Monique encountered resistance and a notable drop in opportunities. Monique's troubles began with her decision to not play the game, as she put it, by refusing to go along with the traditional award campaign circuits without additional compensation, including high-profile festivals like Cannes. Her stance was rooted in principle. Despite the industry's expectations, she believed her performance should speak for itself without needing to engage in extensive self-promotion, especially when such efforts were uncompensated and costly. This decision was not well received, and soon narratives portraying her as difficult and demanding began to circulate within the industry. The situation escalated following her acceptance speech at the Oscars, where she hinted at the political nature of award campaigns, which many insiders took as a direct affront. The aftermath saw Monique receiving fewer calls, and offers that were once on the table, including roles in significant projects like The Butler and Empire, which were initially discussed with her, eventually went to other actors. Director Lee Daniels, who had worked with her on Precious, even conveyed to her that she had been blackballed because she did not play the game according to Hollywood's unwritten rules. Moreover, Monique's candidness about her experiences with key industry figures, including Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Tyler Perry, during her stand-up performances, where she did not shy away from criticizing them harshly, further alienated her from potential allies and opportunities. Complete honesty might not be the best policy in Hollywood, right? 16. Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz was widely regarded as one of the industry's most dependable stars and sexiest actresses, celebrated for her performances in films such as There's Something About Mary, Charlie's Angels, and The Holiday. If you're a fan wondering why Cameron hasn't been on the big screen since Annie in 2014, well, it's not because Hollywood gave her the boot or anything like that. It's more about a mix of professional and personal choices that nudged her away from the spotlight. Despite a career filled with box office successes, Cameron's later projects began to suffer from inconsistent financial performances. Annie, despite its nostalgic potential, did not perform well financially or critically, which may have contributed to a souring perception among casting directors and producers regarding Cameron's drawing power. Her film choices, including The Counselor, did little to bolster her reputation, receiving some of the worst reviews of her career. These roles were so poorly received that they arguably tarnished her box office reliability. Additionally, Cameron ended up getting typecast in roles that didn't really let her show off her full range or give her career room to grow. And when you add in the fact that her movies weren't pulling in as much at the box office, it probably made her less eager to chase after more demanding roles. So it was kind of like she got pushed to the sidelines in Hollywood without it being an official thing. Yet, it wasn't solely about professional hurdles. Cameron also reached a stage in her life where financial stability allowed her to take a break and reassess her career and personal priorities. When asked how it felt to take a step back, the actor replied, "Peace. I got peace in my soul because I finally was taking care of myself." So while we may never see her grace our screens again, it might just be what she needed. 17. Kevin Spacey. We can't talk about banned actors by Hollywood you will never see again without mentioning Kevin Spacey, one of the most controversial stars in recent memory. His fall from grace was perhaps the most dramatic and swift of them all. Once a celebrated double Oscar winner and star of the acclaimed series House of Cards, Kevin's career took a dramatic turn following multiple allegations of sexual misconduct. The accusations first surfaced in 2017, leading to a swift fallout. He was removed from House of Cards, and his role in the film All the Money in the World was recast and reshot with Christopher Plummer. An arbitrator later determined that his actions constituted a breach of contract, resulting in a $31 million penalty in favor of the show's producers. Despite being cleared of sexual assault charges in a high-profile London trial, where Elton John even testified in his defense, Hollywood remains wary of lifting the ban. Multiple sources indicate that while Kevin might find opportunities in Europe, where other controversial figures have continued to work, his prospects in Hollywood are dim. The enduring skepticism is underscored by his ongoing legal struggles, including unresolved civil lawsuits and substantial financial burdens due to legal expenses. Kevin himself has mentioned he's hopeful about getting back on screen, mentioning some folks who are apparently willing to work with him post-trial. But, the vibe in the industry tells a different story. It seems like it might not be as simple as he hopes. 18. Tobey Maguire, once Hollywood's golden boy and beloved for his role as Spider-Man, faced challenges that led to a diminished presence in the industry. Tobey experienced rough times on movie sets, with co-stars like James Franco and Charlize Theron hinting at deeper issues. At the height of his Spider-Man fame, he faced health concerns that prompted him to demand changes to the sequel's schedule, temporarily getting him axed until industry friends intervened. Despite apologizing for being seen as a diva, the perception lingered, cooling his reception in Hollywood. His demanding ways and quiet, difficult personality pushed him into fewer and less frequent film roles. While Toby has stated that he doesn't mind being seen as having a charisma deficit, it's clear that his demeanor hasn't helped his career. 19. Bill Cosby. Although Bill Cosby was released from prison, his Hollywood comeback prospects remain grim. He was released on a technicality after a 2018 conviction for aggravated assault, but over 60 allegations of sexual assault have irreparably damaged his legacy. Once Hollywood's beloved figure, Bill is now shunned by the industry. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned his conviction due to a prior non-prosecution agreement, but public opinion still views him as guilty. PR strategist Howard Bragman emphasized that Bill is not considered innocent, but merely, technically not guilty. No major studios, media houses, or talent agencies are willing to associate with him, citing the stark contrast between his wholesome past image and the serious accusations against him. Once a celebrated figure, Bill is now relegated to the fringes of the entertainment industry, making it unlikely we'll see him in Hollywood again. 20. Stacey Dash. Stacey Dash, once a cherished 90s icon, faced career decline due to her vocal support for conservative views and involvement in divisive activities. Known for her role in Clueless, Stacey transitioned into a political commentator role on Fox News, aligning with prominent conservative figures. This starkly contrasted with her previous Hollywood image and alienated her from the industry. Stacey made controversial remarks about environmental advocate Leonardo DiCaprio and criticized Jesse Williams of Black Lives Matter, further deepening the divide. Her participation in the anti-abortion film Roe v. Wade, which promoted conspiracy theories, solidified her reputation as too controversial for mainstream Hollywood, effectively ending her acting career. 21. Megan Fox. Megan Fox, once a Hollywood sensation, saw her career diminish due to public disputes with influential industry figures. The turning point was her unfavorable comparison of director Michael Bay to Hitler during an interview, a remark that upset producer Steven Spielberg. Spielberg insisted on her removal from the Transformers franchise, significantly stalling her career. Megan was labeled difficult and ungrateful, with her own Transformers crew publicly denouncing her. However, Megan has spoken out about her experiences, including allegations that Michael Bay focused on her physical appeal during filming. A controversial story about an audition where she washed Bay's Ferrari while being filmed further highlighted the tension. Once Megan rejected the sex symbol mold and spoke out, Hollywood seemed less willing to work with her, effectively sidelining her. 22. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan, once a promising starlet, saw her career derailed by unprofessional behavior and public scandals. Frequent tardiness, absences from sets, and erratic behavior eroded her reliability as an actress. In 2006, the CEO of Morgan Creek Productions publicly criticized her for missing work, threatening legal action, which significantly damaged her professional reputation. During the filming of Georgia Rule, co-star Jane Fonda confronted Lindsay for her lack of professionalism. Lindsay's comeback attempts were plagued by similar issues, including reports of her being difficult on the set of Glee. This pattern of behavior left casting directors and producers hesitant to work with her, fearing disruptions. 23. Lindsay Lohan's unprofessional behavior and frequent absences from sets, coupled with erratic conduct, made her a liability in the eyes of Hollywood. Her actions resulted in potential financial losses, effectively sidelining her from major productions. Despite this, she recently appeared in Netflix's rom-com Irish Wish, suggesting she might still have a chance at a comeback. 24. Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes, once a major action star, is another actor Hollywood seems reluctant to work with. Despite a promising start, his career trajectory shifted due to various factors. His outspoken views on Hollywood's racial biases and the limited roles available to minority actors made him a controversial figure. While his advocacy was commendable, it coincided with a series of poorly received films in the early 90s, which hurt his box office appeal. Wesley also faced a significant legal issue when he was racially profiled and wrongly arrested by the Lapt in 1991, an incident that tarnished his public image. Alongside perceived difficult behavior on set and declining opportunities like a sequel to Major League 2, which could have bolstered his career, these elements contributed to his sidelining in Hollywood. 25. Armie Hammer. Armie Hammer's dramatic fall from grace serves as a stark reminder of how swiftly fortunes can change in Hollywood. His career came to an abrupt halt in 2021 after serious allegations, including accusations of sexual assault and disturbing messages about certain fantasies, surfaced online. The scandal escalated quickly, forcing Armie to step away from several high-profile projects, including a film opposite Jennifer Lopez. He was subsequently dropped by his talent agency, William Morris Endeavor. In 2023, the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office decided not to file charges due to insufficient evidence, but the damage to his reputation was irreversible. Hollywood distanced itself from him, and Armie pursued alternative livelihoods outside of acting, such as working as a sober companion. It seems unlikely he'll make a return to the industry anytime soon. 26. Which actor did you enjoy watching the most on the big screen? Let us know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. To see more videos we've made, click on one on the screen or check out the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.